seen, show that you have watched that you can compare it to a show like a Snowfall or The Wire? And I know you haven't seen those two, so do you have any of those shows that you've seen? Not like The Wire or Snowfall, or similar to those shows. Not New York Undercover.
Um, no, I don't think I watched the crime show.
Well,
Dang.
I would say this
Um,
then, as far as like big drug dealers or whatever in movies. I know you don't seen movies or whatever about drug dealers or whatever. It's
I
kind of
own
traditional.
American Gangster, so
Okay. Well, even with American Gangster, it's not like a good traditional somewhat ending or your big.
no, cause he don't end up dead in jail or
They do go to jail, but
I mean, you know like, but he get out though.
yeah. See, that's what I'm saying.
Like
Sometimes,
he not still in prison like most of them
yeah,
are.
I got what you're saying.
It wasn't no shootout, and then it wasn't no like, well, I'm still in prison. Here it is, 2050.
Scarface. Nigga, he went goddamn say hello to my little friend, shooting everybody with a goddamn AR-15 or whatever. I mean, damn, I'm about to say Al Pacino. Well, it was Al Pacino, but whatever Tony Montana had as far as his character. But in the sense of reality, as far as not a Hollywood ending, what I would say, I would even say something like a Menace to Society when niggas had the big shootout, your boy Kane dying or whatever. I still give Menace to Society credit for that ending because I feel like a lot of people would expect the Kane to move on, being who he was
Hmm.
outside of a character like Old Dog, who actually was the one that ended up ending at the end of that movie, who was the one that was doing all the chaos or whatever. So I would kind of compare this similar to that ending as far as what we got with Snowfall. This was the end of Snowfall as far as overall series. This was his last season. We have talked about, the possible spinoff they're gonna be doing or whatever, but as far as an overall series and an overall ending, I've always talked about The Wire being the best television show outside of even being a drug dealer show or even cop show or crime show. Overall, just the best television show. So it was always hard for me to make those comparisons. I would never compare The Wire. I mean, Power. Power is stylish as far as drug dealing shows. It's like the James Bond of drug dealers. You know what I'm saying? Like, even when that series ended, it wasn't a big shootout, but still, it was almost like that Hollywood end in the way Ghost died because it was slow motion. It wasn't even, it was dramatic a little bit, but it was more so even with his son shooting him. And spoilers, I know you haven't watched that. I don't think you will. Well, I wouldn't say that. I think you will try to enjoy Power. But overall, man, I like what they did with this because the ending was very much more impactful. Um, we went
Yeah,
from,
I've seen through some
oh
social
yeah,
media that people
ain't
have
no
not.
way.
This was like Game of Thrones ending for
Yes.
certain people, and I'm just like, damn, was it that bad?
Now, I wasn't bad. It was the fact that people wasn't expecting somebody we've been following and somebody that you liked as a character to go into this position. Because
Hmm.
the reason I say this is more impactful and the conversation is going to continue just like it would with a show like The Wire and the way it ended is because it was very, very dreadful. And most movies or whatever end like that, besides him not dying or going to jail, he's alive. But the whole thing is he's a fiend now. So when you look at a character like Franklin and you like seeing where he was at, being one of the smartest, somebody as far as grew up in the inner city in the ghetto that was actually going to school, that he left school because he did what he did as far as building his empire for not only him but for his family to keep them financially stable outside of the circumstances that black people had to deal with at that time as far as the 80s. And he was that type of individual. And to see him end up in the position he ended up in, not even really being drugged out, but being an alcoholic, a wino, and it was a reflection of his father. And season one probably is even more eerie now because of seeing what he ended up becoming. So,
Hey, like, hey, why no?
so it's scary too. It's scary and it's sad. And once again, man, I said this. I'm not even gonna front. I said he is the Denzel Washington of television right now, in my opinion, off his performance in this show, especially with this last performance. You, we have never seen Denzel play a crackhead. I'm just saying, and to see him take this role to the extent he took it to, as far as having these big moments where he having these speeches with people and intimidating them or trying to school them on how they supposed to be moving or whatever, and to see him turn into this type of individual, it's impactful. I gave it that reference to Menace to Society because Leon is kind of old dog in Menace to Society. The wild card, the one that was out here doing everything. You thinking Leon gonna die, man? Leon probably gonna die in this season. Leon probably gonna die in this season. But no, he actually was the one that transitioned into being more of a better person. And a lot of people don't like that either. A lot of people don't like how a lot of characters
Ah,
ended up at the end of
why?
this.
That's real life though. It be the ones that people be like, man, I thought you. Man, don't ever tell me no shit like that. Don't ever say I don't give a fuck what you thought I was gonna be. I am what I am, and I'm gonna be who I
Yeah,
be. You know what I mean? So don't ever come with me no shit like that. But like, bruh, you know how you like you see like you had this perception of people, and you be like, man, they gonna be somebody, and then you see them like 10 years later, and it's like,
a lot of activists are people who was just in the streets that some turned over a new leaf. Like that's a
yes,
lot of them, majority of them. And the fact is, Leon, he was somebody who was out there. He shot a kid. He killed a kid. If that don't make you transition or make you turn a leaf, I don't know what will. But once again, as far as the comparisons with The Wire had a very impactful ending. It left you like, whoa, wait a minute. We wanted the showdown between Omar and Marlo, but we never got that. Similar to kind of the showdown that you wanted to see between Teddy and Franklin, but you didn't necessarily get that. So that's kind of where everybody at with this. It's like I wanted, I wanted this. I wanted to
there's
see
nothing
Franklin
that
and
you
them go
wanted,
at it, like this big
nothing.
shootout with the helicopters coming in and him going up against the whole CIA and all that. Nigga, no, that's not real. This show is based off the CIA really bringing drugs into America to fight over other countries' wars.
Mm-hmm.
No, this was always about with the drug epidemic. This was always about crack epidemic. This wasn't about no Franklin being this big drug kingpin that was able to overcome everything and all the obstacles. This was more so about the reality of what happened when crack hit. So that's the reason I say this ending is definitely gonna have more of an impact than a traditional one of him going to jail or being killed. So I'm very much looking forward to more conversations being brought up about this ending, and not only that, where you would place this in the history of television shows. I'm glad Nadia said something about Game of Thrones because you definitely got to put this in that category as far as series endings. And make sure y'all go check out Perk Minded. He is doing a live tomorrow, and make sure you, as far as a Snowfall discussion, I'm supposed to be joining it. And make sure y'all go over there and check out Brillo the Big Review. He has recently did one as far as a power. Not, I know he's doing a power one tonight, but he did a Snowfall review as far as series finale. So make sure y'all go check him out. What's going on, Deadpool from the future? You are the chat, brother, right now, and we are the chat with you.
Hey,
Um, I don't know if you're a fan of
welcome.
Snowfall, but let me know. Or other crime shows like The Wire, Power, and all those other ones, Breaking Bad, everything. But anybody who's gonna be coming through, let me know how y'all feeling as far as Snowfall, and if you are a fan of this, and if you've been watching the series, how you feel about this ending and Franklin's fate, and how you do feel about this compared to other series finales as far as TV shows. Shout out to Nadia, Game of Thrones, or even The Wire, Power, so on, Breaking Bad, all of those. Definitely. It's a fella and a lady in here, brother. Appreciate you coming through, brother, or another, because I don't know who Deadpool could be a woman, but definitely appreciate you coming through, man, or one man. But anyway, this man, I had to sit with this one. I did. I had to sit with this one, but I will be doing a review on this. I haven't done it yet. I will be doing a full-fledged review on this, but definitely let me know how y'all feeling about this. All right, being that we are talking about Snowfall and The Wire, I did make a versus for this, and you know when you come to Uncut Ish Talk, we always do a versus. So I basically wanted to do most emotional scene in the TV show versus. We got The Wire versus Snowfall.